All right, the time is 4 o'clock. I will call the City of Fort Atkinson Plan Commission meeting to order in person and via Zoom. Roll call, please.
Chairperson Manager Hausman,
Here.
Commissioner Ciccarelli,
Here.
Commissioner Kasanich,
Here.
Commissioner Shull,
Here.
Director of Public Works Navin.
Here.
Okay, next item on the agenda is new business. We have 3A, review and possible action relating to the minutes of the April 14, 2026 Plan Commission meeting. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes?
I would move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. So next item on the agenda is the public hearing for the zoning map amendment. Before we start with that, we will hear from Jed Drager, the Director of Neighborhood and Building Services, relating to the zoning map amendment and the proposed project in general. Mr. Drager.
Oh, thank you. Yes, as you'll see from the packet and what we see up on the screen here, just to be clear, this is just the public hearing portion. No decision will be made, but I do want to present the project overall, what is being considered. As you can see on the arrow up there, this area is a former overflow parking lot for Fort Healthcare. This became unused after the vacating of 4th Street and the hospital facilities moved back to the home campus, opening this up for redevelopment. This is at the end of the New Street Schumacher. Also, there is a small parcel between the main parking area and McMillan that would be attached by CSM as part of the overall project. Another thing to point out is overall, this is the zoning map amendment portion of this, which is changing the zoning, opening the possibility for future development, but any future development would go through a site plan review, which addresses stormwater. Stormwater all has to be maintained on site. Same thing with traffic study is being done regarding the site. So any of those finer details of the site overall, as far as impact for the area and stormwater, all gets heavily critiqued during that site plan review process. This would also, as a proposed project with multifamily with multiple buildings, yes, thank you, would require a conditional use permit as well and go through that process. That's also a publicly noticed process, much similar to this, which was also publicly noticed. So public will have the opportunity and be aware of those proceedings as well. As you can see, this the overall proposal is for 4 buildings at 24 units apiece. With underground parking. They are showing some above ground parking as well. Keep in mind, this is a concept only. This is not the eventual finished plan. So it doesn't show all the finer details with the stormwater, traffic flow, and overall finalized parking arrangement. Once again, this is an area that was once a parking lot, still is a parking lot, but is not used. So there was some existing traffic coming in and out of there to begin with. The proposed zoning map amendment is required to meet some requirements regarding the zoning that is being requested, which is MRH 30. So the site itself in relation to the actual parcels themselves have to meet density criteria, which after a CSM both would be combined into one and meeting that criteria by quite a bit as far as overall dimensions that are required. Touching on the comprehensive plan, going back to the changes with the Fort Healthcare facility and the vacating of 4th Street. The comprehensive plan went through an amendment process, which was also publicly noticed, and a public process to make amendments to that, where this area was amended to be planned mixed use, which would allow for multifamily residential housing on this site. I do also want to note that the current institutional zoning of the site would allow for a similar type, not exactly the same, so it wouldn't be for any type of residential, but it would allow for the same density of residential for a senior type of housing or a community living type of housing at the same density as what's being proposed for the zoning. So I just do want to highlight that the current zoning would allow for something similar, but not exactly the same. As I said, with the traffic study, and then, I just want to remind everybody that coming after this, if the zoning map amendment moves forward, there would also still be a certified survey map that would come before approval process, conditional use permit for a group development, and a site plan review, which would address landscaping, stormwater, building materials, and all those things. And once again, all the items in the pack here are at a concept level.
You mentioned, Jed, you kind of glossed over, I know it's in the staff report, but they are going to produce a traffic study. The developer is going to produce this traffic study for this item.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep, and that's planned to address the proposed number of units as well as the maximum number of units for the site as well, so that we can see what the site can handle, because the zoning would allow for up to 50 units per acre.
Okay, any questions from the Plan Commission for Mr. Drager?
Actually, it's a request back on the parcel map, because so many people are in the audience on this item and not all of them may have seen the materials before. I wonder if you could trace out the boundaries of the parcel, including the smaller handy side access.
I certainly can. I'd have to walk up the screen if we can see it.
Well,
I can.
I think
I wouldn't be able to show
I'll
anybody
just
that.
draw. I'll just draw it out with the arrow.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
can use the arrow to draw.
Yeah, I think the one with the multiple units might show it better.
So a certified survey map will come before this body with
Correct.
the outline of the parcel.
Yes. As you can see in the bottom, there's already a storm water management pond that is existing.
And Jed, would you say it's safe to say that stormwater pond is underutilized at the moment?
Yes. Yes, it was designed for overall future development when Schumacher was put in.
Okay, other questions from the Plan Commission for Mr. Drager? Okay, I think
you.
we have Emily McFarland representing the pre-3, the applicant here.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. We don't have a formal presentation plan for this evening since it's just the public hearing, but we always like to be present. I think something really unique about the way Pre3 does business is we look to be really good partners to the community, to the desires of the Planning Commission and the desires of the neighborhood. So we like to be present and just kind of hear people's feedback. And then I'd also offer just 2 additional items. Hot off the press, I got a draft of the traffic study back right before I left to come to this meeting. So we will have that to be able to discuss. And then we also are in the practice of doing neighborhood meetings. So we will be having a neighborhood meeting on next Wednesday, May 6th at 6 p.m. Our intention is to host it here. I could not get the library. That Fort Community Credit Union building or meeting room is a hot commodity. So hopefully we can use this room. I'll try to confirm that with the city team. If you receive the public notice for the Planning Commission, you will also receive that meeting information from us. We'll get that. We've gotten that list from the city and we'll send that meeting notice out as well. So if not, though, we'll make sure the city has the info too. May 6th at 6 p.m. is our intention. So hopefully folks can get here after those evening work hours. So we're just eager to hear your feedback, any questions, concerns, thoughts that you all have to get us started. And then hopefully folks will be able to attend that meeting. If not, feel free to find me after our topic is up. Otherwise, you will also get my email in that meeting invitation as well. And you're welcome to reach out to me that way too. We like to be in the habit of being good neighbors. So we're excited to hear people's feedback and answer any questions people may have at that meeting or at the next Plan Commission meeting where it's a little bit more open for conversation.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, before I open the public hearing on this matter, I would like to thank you all for taking the time to come to this meeting, hear the presentation in person, and gather your own information. I'd also like to set expectations up front so the public hearing can be both efficient and effective today. First, this is a public hearing relating to a zoning map amendment to change the zoning district for the property located at 550 McMillan Street from institutional to multifamily residential 30. No action will be taken by the Plan Commission on this matter at this meeting. The developer has committed to commissioning that traffic study that she referred to already and holding that public meeting, which will be here at 6 p.m. on May 6th. Those will both happen before this matter comes back before this body to make a recommendation to the City Council. And secondly, while the Plan Commission does value input from everyone in this room, please do not repeat items that have been expressed thoroughly by those others before you. Staff will record all the concerns expressed and prepare responses when additional information becomes available. Lastly, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Deferring time to others is not permitted, and please be respectful of the Plan Commission staff, the developer, and all others in the room. So at this time, I will open the public hearing. I'll go through the names that I have listed, signed in to participate, and then we'll do an open call for folks on the Zoom as well as folks in the room who didn't get a chance to sign up. So I will start with Candy Millan. And Candy, if you can come up and state your name and address for the record.
I think I just really have 2 questions. One for the hospital, in that you said you would be sending a notice to everybody that received the first notice, which most people on my street never got it. Anybody in the neighborhood.
Can you
never
please
even-
direct your comments to the?
I'm sorry,
presentation?
nobody in our neighborhood received that notice.
So statutorily, we are, I'll pause your time. Statutorily, we send a notice out for within 100 feet of the subject property.
And I am.
Okay. So we'll make sure we recheck that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And I wonder also if Mr. Drager might reiterate, I couldn't quite hear him back there, about the industrial use versus the zoning that they're trying to accomplish right now. You said something about it's already zoned industrial, and you made some comment about that.
I'll address that. It's actually zoned institutional right now.
That's what I'm not.
And the comment was that this project at this density would be permitted had it been senior housing under the existing zoning.
If it had been senior housing.
Correct.
Okay.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have Betty Streese.
Good afternoon. First, I want to thank you. The information that Jed gave answered a lot of questions, but one of the things that he had mentioned was the stormwater would be maintained on site. And I also was concerned about, I live within that neighborhood, but not within 100 feet. And I know that during high water came up to those areas, and you're talking about underground parking. And I just have concerns about what that will do to our area. And the other thing they said is, and I'm very happy to hear that, is a traffic study. And so I really have nothing other than to wait and see what comes of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your comments. I'll just, while we're transitioning here, I'll just mention that the stormwater issues will be, they haven't been designed yet, right? So the developer is not really going to go through all the design process until they know that they can do a project. So those things will come, we'll move on with the public hearing. Your microphone's not on.
I wonder if we could have speakers state their address so I can get a sort of a geographic perspective on your issues and concerns.
I have that, Betty. It's 408 Curtis Circle. Okay, and I can provide you, John, with the list after the public hearing as well. Okay, next up we have Kathy Jopel.
Actually, Candy asked one of the questions.
Oh. Okay, thank you. Mike,
That's fine to no questions that I was in this.
thank you. Jerry Lemke,
I'll withdraw my questions for tonight then, please.
Okay. Thank you. Jason Link,
Jason Link, 612 Rogers Street. I've lived on the north side of the property for 10 years. And I acknowledge that we're going to get stormwater drainage and traffic studies forthcoming. But in advance of that, I just wanted to talk about my experience living there on the northern boundary of that property. For several months out of the year, the groundwater situation is extremely moist and wet all year to an unusable or unmowable state. I will say in 2008, and this is one of my big concerns, we are within 50 yards of the river. The floodwater never came from the river. It came from the stormwater drainage behind the property from McMillan. That highlights a huge issue. And my house is 50 years old. We've never had problems with water before. And so I do want it to be known that if there are water issues moving forward, it would be because of new development. My major concern is a structure going deep into the water will impact the water table and push water out from underneath the property towards the surrounding lots, which are long-standing, decades and decades long single-family neighborhoods that have lived around the institutional property for a long time. Traffic is another concern. Since this was a hospital property, it conceptualized as individual clinics. It was never meant to be a walkable, drivable community. It was meant for people to come in, go to their clinic, and leave. There's no sidewalks. I think the traffic situation already has been exacerbated with the closure of the North 4th Street parking lot addition that the hospital made. All of that traffic is now going down McMillan. And with 96 additional units, however many cars we determined through the traffic study, all of those cars have to go McMillan, Handyside, or down Memorial. And so it just it probably doubles the amount of traffic that we all will see on those residential streets based on the number of single-family housing in that area. My ask as a resident, I know we are in a housing crisis. I know there's a need for housing. My ask would be that you make decisions like this responsibly, and maybe MRM 30 isn't the right zoning idea for this property. Maybe it's mixed residential, more townhomes, duplex, single family to blend into the existing community that's been there for 50 years. So just please, as neighbors and managers of the city, make these decisions responsibly.
thank you. Okay, Linda Murphy.
Hi, my name is Linda Murphy. I live at 701 McMillan Street. I'm kind of echoing I'm here on behalf of several homes around me, our neighbors. So I'm representing them. We all have concerns about 96 apartments going up in our quiet neighborhood and the need for that. We know that other apartment complexes have been going up, especially like the one, for example, across from the high school. So is there really a need for 96 apartments? The north side has the higher tax revenue of the city. There's a lot of money to be made from maybe mixed homes, like you had said. I think that was a great point, that maybe this isn't the right thing. 96 apartments in this quiet little neighborhood might not be what's ideal. I would maybe urge you guys to look at how else we could use this instead of 4 large apartment complexes back there. The residential commercial zoning might be a good idea, just not standalone apartments. So if you could please look into that and see what is the best fit for that. Also, is Fort Atkinson growing in population? And people are asking about this too. If it's approved, that'll be the second or third multi-unit residence to go up in the last couple of years. So the population is going up. How does that correlate to the fact that the high school population has significantly decreased? So the attendance at the high school is going down. What are we going to do to keep addressing the needs of keeping our own students here in Fort Atkinson? If we are doing, I guess the point is that we're trying to make is maybe some single family homes need to go up in that area instead and help with the tax bracket for that and the revenue that you could generate having single family homes instead of these apartments. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that is all that I have signed up on the list. I will do a first call for anyone in the room wishing to speak on this matter. State your name and address for the record, please.
John House, 104 Jefferson Street in Fort. The concern that one person had about water issues, whether you dig a big pond to take the stormwater on site there. I mean, that's river bottom. I mean, back in the 30s, the Rock River was that big. And there's always been a concern with the old folks home, what's that called?
Wellington Meadows.
Well, no, the next one, the one that's farther west, the one that always has water problems because the sewers have never been fixed. And we had a talk with Mr. Sully, and he was going to fix that. And there's a lot of people that have homes and their water is ponding in their backyards and stuff. So at this point, I'll do a little more research, but just wanted to bring that water up. That is an issue.
Thank you. Anyone else in person wishing to speak on this matter? Okay, we'll move over to our folks on Zoom. It's the first call for anyone wishing to speak on the matter on Zoom. Please raise your hand, or I'm gonna stop sharing the screen so we can see who's on it. Please raise your virtual hand if you are interested in speaking during this public hearing. Second call for anyone wishing to speak.
Yeah, hello.
Please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Andrew Lang. I live at 725 Florence Street. I'm on the south end of this project. My question is, who's going to benefit from having those 4 buildings put up there? Is this a private outfit from who knows where, New York or someplace, that's going to own these buildings? I would prefer single family homes because that's people who actually live on site are usually a bit more responsible. They respect the neighborhood a little bit more. Also, we've about a year now, we've had these homes that were removed from 4th Street to just north of my property, and 2 of those places are just eyesores. And the city doesn't collect any taxes on them because they belong to the homeless coalition. I was wondering if, I'm all for increasing the tax base for the city, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen if I'm not sure who owns these buildings. I guess that's probably all I really have to say on that subject.
Okay, thank you. Final call, anyone on the Zoom wishing to speak during this public hearing? Okay, The public hearing is closed. Thank you all very much for your participation. Moving on to the next item. Item 3C is review and possible action relating to a site plan review for Jones Dairy Farm waste water treatment facility located at 744 Jones Avenue. This is site plan review 2026-10. Mr. Drager.
Yes, thank you. Give it just a minute.
If you do have conversations, please go downstairs. Thank you. Okay,
Okay,
Mr. Drager.
thank you. Yes, wastewater pretreatment, it says treatment plant. This is not to indicate that any of the wastewater will not still be going to our wastewater facility. This is to pre-treat their wastewater to lighten the load coming to our plant. I do want to point out the overall property size is about 20 acres. And this new structure, the building itself is 55,544 square foot building, is constructed of a brick-faced block, which meets the Class 1 material list. So it's easily meeting the overall design requirements for the building itself. There are some outside storage tanks. Yes, if you'd scroll down just a little bit further, you can get to the storage tanks on the outside. As you can see, the facility there, I'd maybe backtrack a little bit here. There was a CSM that came forward and an annexation, bringing a portion of some town land into the city to accommodate this location down in the corner there. That is finishing up with the city council right now with the I believe the second and possible final reading for that annexation, which will get that final approval on the CSM. The site plan review that we have before us is looking at the exterior elements of this, landscaping, building itself, location, impervious surfaces, and all those items, which overall it is meeting those requirements. The only thing, there's some landscaping requirements around the foundation, which staff does not feel is well used there. And by our numbers and calculations, those requirements were met by increasing the screening to the southwest portion of the property to screen it from Industrial Drive and Rockwell. Yeah, as I said, it's a pretreatment plant. Overall, it's meeting the requirements of the city. Comprehensive plan does show this to remain industrial use. So it is meeting or in concert with the comprehensive plan. If we could scroll down, we could see maybe some of those elevations so we can get a look at those. Yeah, I know they're quite a bit further. There's the landscaping there. You can see all along. There's a mixture of plants there. Staff does believe that will be accommodate all the landscaping requirements that would be being met for this type of development. There we go. As you see, it's a well-designed building. It has an intended use, which does not allow a lot of possibility for architectural design, nor would that be useful in this situation. It is set back away from the road. And as I said, it is exceeding requirements for Class 1 materials. With that, staff does recommend approval of the site plan as proposed. And I would welcome any questions that Plan Commission would have.
Judd, just to be clear, we should, and I just thought of this now, but condition the approval of the site plan on the completion of the annexation and certified survey map process.
Yes.
Just so we don't approve a site plan on a portion of property that's actually not currently in the city. So I would add that as a potential recommendation, as a potential condition of approval when we get to that point. But are there any questions from Plan Commission members for Mr. Drager on this item?
Does Jones anticipate at some future time expanding further west into what's now cropland?
I do not know. I have not heard of any plans. Actually, if you look on page 94, if you scroll just a little bit further, somehow part of a proposal will be coming to Plan Commission in the near future is an expansion on, there you go, on the plant to the south of Rockwell, which snuck into this here. So they are planning an expansion at this time, just not that we're aware of to the west. But this does allow for expansion of both facilities.
Okay, but before us right now is the site plan for the wastewater treatment facility, which is upon annexation and certified survey map would meet all of the requirements of our zoning code.
Yes, it would.
Okay, any additional questions for Mr. Drager for this item? Okay, before discussion, I guess then I would entertain a motion to approve the site plan as proposed, subject to the completion of the annexation and certified survey map processes.
So moved with those conditions.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion amongst the Plan Commission on this item. Guess I'd like to say I appreciate the continued investment of Jones Dairy Farm in the city of Fort Atkinson, and we're very pleased. This building does not necessarily have to be made of Class 1 materials on all sides, given its location on site. However, it is, which does reinforce Jones Dairy Farm's commitment to the city and ensuring that their facility is of high quality and continues and their continued investment. So I just wanted to say that. If there's nothing else, then I will call the question. We have a motion and a second to approve the site plan as submitted, subject to the conditions that the annexation and certified survey map processes are completed by the city council. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. The next item on the agenda is review and possible recommendation to the city council relating to a condominium plat for Ridgeview Estates Townhomes located at 1364 and 1356 Marigold Drive. Mr. Drager.
Yes, thank you. As I said, this is for a condominium plat. If we would all remember, this came before this body and city council several times through the PUD process and the subdivision plat process where this lot was created to begin with. As you'll see, there was some flexibilities that were permitted in regards to setbacks and some minor site adjustments through that PUD process, which is where we get those flexibilities with setbacks for a project to fit a site. This is the portion of the end of this project. I believe the unit to the south, which is built and is nearing occupancy level. This is the mechanism to establish individual ownership of each of these units. And that condominium plat and the declarations are what establish the privately owned portions of these and the condo association owned portions of these. So as you can see, there's limited ownership on the driveway portions. Each of the individual units are privately owned, and then there's overall site ownership. There are a couple of minor mapping adjustments that is noted in the memo here, as we see typically at the CSM or a condo plat, which are not concerning at all and would be staff recommended conditions of the approval. But like I said, overall, it's meeting the city's ordinances, and I will welcome any questions to go along with this condo plat.
Questions for Mr. Drager on the proposed condo plat? Mr. Drager, do you know when the developer intends to start the next building? Those 4 units are almost done, and there's 4 more, obviously, that have been approved that are part of this condo plat.
I think their plan is to move on with that once they have the other 4 units sold.
Got it.
I know they've had interest. I do not know how many are actually sold, but they are nearing occupancy at this point. They just have some small site improvements, little road repairs from heavy trucks and things like that. But I believe they plan to move forward as soon as they have those sold.
Okay, great. Other questions for Mr. Drager?
So this is the only portion of the Ridgeview Estates that has this housing type?
For now.
Currently, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, if there are no additional questions, then I would entertain a motion to recommend City Council approve the condominium plat and declaration of covenants subject to the conditions outlined in the staff report.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there a discussion amongst the Plan Commission on this matter? I will just comment, John, not only is this one of the only types, one of the only townhome with individual ownership products in this subdivision right now, but it is one of the only ones in the city as well. So it's a welcome addition to provide, additional types of housing so that anybody who wants to live here in Fort Atkinson can find an appropriate place to live. Any additional discussion? Okay, hearing none, I will call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. And that will go to the City Council for the meeting on May 5th. Next item on the agenda is update on previously approved projects. I don't have anything prepared, but I'm happy to answer questions from the Plan Commission on this matter.
Questions?
No questions?
Curious about progress on Rena. Maida Lane.
Oh, that, Jed, do you know? Okay, we're waiting for the wetland delineation before the site plans will move forward.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, before I call the question, I just want to take a moment and thank Commissioner Jill Kesnick for her service to the Plan Commission and to the city. This is her last meeting, so just wanted to express my appreciation. It's been a long time, a long tenure, so we really do appreciate your input. All those in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye.
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 All right, we are adjourned at 4:37 p.m. Thank you all.